So, init akong ulo, no? Gilapad akong, init akong ulo. So I received a lot of messages from trolls ng mga supporters sa atong gobernadora diha. Nagipangutana ko nila nga kung ako na who am I kuno to criticize Governor GWEN GARCIA. And they were like, kinsa man itawon ka oy para mo mag badmouth sa atong governor, kinsa gud itawon ka kuna tarong nila mga pangutana. Di pangutana man hinung kung kinsa ko. Lah, pagkatay. Well, let me tell you who I am, okay? I am a registered fucking voter in that fucking nation. So, I have every right to criticize, question, and demand accountability government officials over there in the Philippines, especially in the province of Cebu. Why? Why am I entitled to that right? It's because according, if I remember this right, according to the 1987 Philippine Constitution Bill of Rights, Article 3, Section 4, I am guaranteed freedom of speech and the freedom of expression. And along with that freedom, I'm constitutionally lawful and able to criticize the government in whatever means I want. I can use social media to dig information. I can use any platform to spread awareness. That's part of the freedom of speech and freedom of expression. If you don't know what that is, please look it up. Ambot boy, naman nakadaog ka eh. And gisapod yun kayo kay, wasn't it you? Okay, going back, I know, ako sad, kanang nabudol man sa jud kong appeal, no? Nabudol sa jud ko. Supporter sa jud ko ni BBM before, and I gotta be honest, I went all out. Nangaway ko, I went to rallies, I fed people who were in rallies, and as a matter of fact, ni-reach out ko sa mga office because you were supporting the Dutertes that time. Remember? Kinumdum ka? And let me remind you with photos. Here it is. So that's you. I don't know where I'm going to put the photo, but it's definitely there. So you supported the Dutertes back in the day when it was cool to support them, from the looks of it. And I reached out to your office. Kay nagka-idea ko nga magpakaon ko sa mga supporter ni Duterte and the BBM kay daghan gyud kaayo mga supporters sa Gutino nato sa Cebu. And wasn't it you who said that you don't trust BBM as a president, and the only reason why you're supporting him, it's because you're really close with the Duterte, especially Sara Duterte. Wasn't it you who said that? Remember? Yeah. Now, it really is, frankly, quite disappointing that you had reverted that support for some reason. And I've been thinking of some reasons as to why you had reverted your support. Now, could it be A, that you're scared of this case right here to be revived, and of course you as a governor, I'm pretty sure that you are scared of this, that this case would be revived. I don't know where I'm going to put that, somewhere here in the screen, but I'm pretty sure you're scared of that, because that would mean that you would probably be in jail, and I gotta admit though, it's gonna take some time for that to actually happen, for you to be in jail, because it needs to go through some proceedings. I understand that. Or letter B, is this true? Well, I gotta admit, that's a lot of money. 150,000. No, not even 150,000. It's 150 million. That's a lot of money. I gotta admit. But then, again, if you have accepted that, it means that you have no spine as a public servant. Because As a public servant, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to serve us, your constituents, not other government officials. Diba? And, or is it letter C? This one right here. This one, I don't know where it is, but is it this one? Letter C? Klaro kayo? Wow. Rubbing elbows with the Malacanang. Diba? Side by side on your piano, ebony and ivory. Porte yung dola, close kay mo. Is that it? Is that the reason why you had reverted your support? Your character is questionable, Governor GWEN GARCIA. And I see this as a betrayal to the Filipino people. You have betrayed the nation. You had not only betrayed the Filipino, oh no, the Cebuanos, but the entirety of the nation. And it's really quite appalling, to be honest, because for some reason, every time that we actually talk about things that actually matter, you immediately take it as a fake news. So let's go down to that little rabbit hole over there. So what constitutes a fake news actually? What does that mean? What does fake news mean? How do you define fake news? You can't even define it. So every time, if we're going to talk about whatever that your job is supposed to be, whatever work that you're supposed to be doing, every time we question you, you're going to take it as fake news? What the fuck is that? What's it? Pasabot ni mo anak? Huh? What do you mean by that, Miss Governor GWEN GARCIA? What do you mean? Tell me. So, as I mentioned earlier, as part of the freedom of speech and expression, it is, we are actually within our rights to ask you these questions. You know what I mean? So, it really bothers me that we can't even question you. We can't even criticize you, because every time we do, you take it as an attack on the government. Let me remind you, Miss Governor GWEN GARCIA, that you work for us. It is our taxes that is actually paying you or feeding you or making you buy all those luxury stuff. It is our money. It is not yours. Let me remind you that. Huh? You work for us. Kami ang galuklok ninyo diha, so nami karapatan nga mo question ug unsa na ninyo gipang trabaho ninyo ug nagkadimao pa ba na, amo nang katungod. We are within our rights to ask questions, criticize, and demand accountability. Do you understand? So, yeah, please tell your dogs over there to please educate themselves, because for some reason they're not. They don't know what they're doing. They don't even know why they're messaging me. I ask them questions, they're like, they blocked me. What a disappointment you are, Miss Governor. You're such a disappointment to the Filipino people. You're such a disappointment to the Cebuanos. So, let this be a lesson to all Cebuanos out there. Let me remind you, Cebuanos, that our demographic, ang atong lugar diha sa Cebu, we have the most registered voters. So that's why it's really important for politicians to say their piece as to why they're running to the Cebuanos. It's really important for the politicians to actually, you know, grab our hearts and grab our votes. It's because we have the most registered voters on our island, in that region. So importante kaayo na makuha nila atong boto atong mga kasing-kasing kaysa og
I like to hear about it.
kay og makuha na nila, it means sure yun na silang daog. Like what we did with BBM. Di ba, nag-landslide kay ato matutan ng mga boto. So, be wise on who you are voting for. Pick someone who actually has a spine on how to, you know, run the government. Because obviously, your governor there does not have one. Alright, that's it for today. And again, please do share, because for some reason, all of the content that I'm posting right now has been shadow banned, and it's crazy that some people are not seeing it. So please do share, and share. Information is power. Get yourself informed.